Hello, welcome to Sunflowers. I'm back with another book customization video, and this time I've got some cursed and goofy content for you. Today's decor takes after some Lovecraftian influence. My goal with this book was to have a funny book title of sorts with some sort of cursed looking monsters on the cover. But I wanted the book to come across as a genuine book at first glance and not immediately have somebody thinking that it's meant to be satire. So I did pay special attention to detail on this, and I think it definitely paid off in the end. So as you can see, I started off with a very transparent layer of gesso. Initially, I was going to make it pretty opaque, but I decided that I would be dry brushing the layers of color on to try and give it a nice, vampy, stained leather kind of feel. And I did keep the paint fairly watered down just so that we do get that texture popping through the paint. This is the darkest, most saturated layer of brown that I applied during this dry brushing process. I did want to keep the colors fairly light because I am going to go over this with a very transparent layer of black at the end. So I want these kind of more orange-red tones to be able to pop through and come across as pretty dimensional. As you can see, I'm using this very top-notch advanced technique of just applying a super thin layer of black and then smudging the crap out of it with my hand. The idea came from the aesthetics of one of my sketchbooks, actually. I have a leather-bound sketchbook, and you can tell that the lacquer was applied kind of sparsely to the leather to give it this kind of worn-down, long-lived look. And I definitely wanted to try and take that and replicate it with this. So here I've begun sketching the first monster. I'm just using an alcohol-based marker for this process. It's loosely based off of one of Ash Niko's music videos where she has these like titties going on. It ended up kind of looking like a real cursed Davy Jones, I guess. Now, if anybody else is as concerned as I was about how horrible the face sketch looks at this stage, fear not, because it can always be fixed by completely forgetting you're recording and placing your gesso bottle directly in front of the camera. No worries. And here you can see that I completely scrapped the initial sketch of the face altogether. Completely new head shape, and honestly, it truly is just the right amount of cursed. And on theme with forgetting I was recording, I thought I pushed the record button when I started the second monster, but I clearly did not because there is no footage anywhere. So, yeah. For this one, there was no direct theme. I just knew that I wanted a long, slobbery tongue at some point in this general vicinity, so this was born. And onto the back of the book. So this is going to be a humanoid spider. And initially, the plan was to, not decapitate her head. However, I am a dum-dum, and I did not account for enough space between where I started sketching and the top of the book for her head. But do not worry, despite the decapitation of her head, we were still able to save the titties, so, it's kind of a win. And we are now on to the final details. I saved my favorite for last, which is all of the tiny little intricate gold details that this book contains. It was so much fun just getting absolutely lost in all of the intricate little swirls and loops and what have yous. And lastly, I did add varnish to really add some dimension to all those paint layers that we built up. And with that, the book is finished. Why don't we take a look?
Flirting. What is it? If I see a girl with blue eyes, I might say, wow, your eyes are like blueberries. Wait, can I actually, I'm kind of hungry. Can I have? That's one thing that you could go into that is fun and will get a girl giggling within moments.